Hello and welcome to a quick look at Mini Metro. Now Mini Metro is a game I put a lot of time into during the beta, and it has just come out of early access on Steam. So I thought it would be a good time to take another look at it and see what's changed, see what the game's about, and also a chance for me to show off what the game is to you, so hopefully you'll pick it up if you like the look of it. So we're going to jump right into a game here. We're just going to go to the London map. There are lots of different maps. There's many different maps, but the simple concept of the game is the same. Each map, it gets harder or has different challenges, but we're going to jump into the London map, which is pretty simple. So, as you can see, you start off with 3 shapes, and you have to get, each shape will get passengers, and you basically have to get the passengers where they want to go. So a square passenger wants to go to that station, we make a line there. The game has several resources you have to work around. It has lines, it has tunnels, it has a thing called interchanges, which we'll get into later, and it has carriages, and it has trains. Each line can have up to 4 trains, and each train I think can have up to 3 carriages unless they've changed that. And basically the idea is you have to balance your resources in order to make the line run successfully. So if you have too long a line with not enough trains on it, you're going to end up with passengers on the first station who won't be able to get to the last station before the station becomes overcrowded, which for this game mode is it's the failure point. It is what you're aiming to stop, and that's about it for the game. Every week you'll get a new resource. You'll get I think every week you get a train by default, and then you can get another resource from the list of resources, and you've got to choose what resource you want to get you the best result. So for being such a simple game, it does get quite complex later on. You have a lot of different things all nagging at you. Like, you have to try and not waste all your trains on one line, but if you have too long a line, then your trains are going to be stopping at every single stop along the way. If you have a longer train, as in a train that has more carriages, yes, it'll be able to carry more people, but then it will also go slower. So potentially you don't want to have a long line, like a line that has a long gap between stations, with a train that has a lot of carriages, because it'll take a long time to get there, and then your station could become overcrowded while it's travelling. Another thing that makes it quite interesting is you can't easily cross lines. To have 2 lines cross, you need to have a station that connects them. For instance, if we wanted to, say, let's make this yellow line a bit longer, we'll make it a circle here. We don't have enough bridges. We're going to start with 1 bridge. We should have enough bridges. Oh, it already goes to yellow. Alright, that's it. So we connect around like this, make it a circle. Yes, see, every week you get a new locomotive, and then you can get a line or a carriage. We're going to get a new line because it's going to make it easier to describe what I'm going on with here. And let's make yellow up just a little bit larger for demonstration purposes. That'll work. Say we want to get to this line here with green. Well, not with green. Say we want to get there with our new line. We want this to go from this station to square for some reason. Now we can't do it right now because we don't have enough bridges, but if we did, we'd have to want to get there. We'd have to go through another line, and then we could get there. So it kind of adds in that extra layer of complexity, which is fine. Like, this would work right now. But if we were to expand our line, like we were to go much, much further out, it would make things very, very difficult to actually get right. Now, in this mode, you can easily just redo something like, I want to go through that line. Easy. But if you are on a different mode, I think it's called Extreme. They have changed. It used to be called Rush mode. And basically what that'll do is it'll mean that every single choice you make is permanent. So if you made this and decided, actually this is awful, this blue line isn't doing anything right now, this blue line would have to stay, and then you'd be stuck there. It also puts passengers in more quickly. It's kind of the speed mode. There is also another mode called Endless, and what Endless mode does is it makes it so that you can't actually lose. Like, say if you got all of your stations filled up, you wouldn't actually lose the game. What would happen is it just lowers your efficiency score. And that mode's all about getting the most efficient station that you can. Okay, we'll move we don't have enough bridges, so we'll break this apart here. Right, so there we go. Break the endpoint, and then put it in. But yeah, if you, in endless mode, if you don't have enough of something, you can just wait. Your stations will get overfilled, it doesn't matter. And basically it's all about trying to make the most efficient use of your resources. And you can pause it, you can alter absolutely everything. It's really kind of the min-maxers kind of mode. Like if you want to just make the station that operates the like the line, the subway, whatever we're gonna call it, the subway system that's most effective, well, that mode is for you. It will allow you to tweak everything. But I think the real fun of the game is in adapting to the new situations, because these stations will pop up randomly around the map, and it's all about trying to prepare yourself for where things could appear in the future. Now, you can change the speed in this very slightly. You can make, oh, we're already on the faster speed, so I was going to make it go a little faster, but there are randomly placed unique stations. Well, I say unique, there can appear more of them, but they're stations that don't appear as often, so there'll be different shapes, like there's a hexagon one, and there's a star one. And they add a lot of the challenge into the game by making it so that you have to, say you had this one was a star station, and all the way down here you got a star passenger. You would have to somehow get your passenger from here to here as quickly as possible, so that they don't clog up stations. And if you have to make them change line along the way, that means that the line point where they're changing from, it's going to cause more congestion on that specific station, and then you're going to have problems. And basically it's all about making sure that you limit those problems from happening. Now I'm hoping that this will be the end of the day, and then we can show you another upgrade. I'm hoping for it to get an interchange here. Otherwise I'm just going to, there we go, interchange. So what this does is it makes stations be able to hold, I believe it's up to 12, it's either 12 or 20 passengers. They've changed it a couple of times. And this will also make it so that they instantly load and unload. So if we have a look here, let's say we wanted to make this our big station where everyone's changing line. So we should get a passenger on here, and we can see instead of having to wait for them all to load on one by one, nope, this passenger doesn't want to get off anywhere. Gonna want to get off now so you can show it off. So just instantly move on, and your train barely has to stop. Quite nice. Now this tells you that your station's about to fail. See, it has too many passengers, has over 8, and because this train is overfilled, it's gonna go right past, and then your station's in trouble. But you have options. You can actually just move a train on at any point, and it should go, and it'll pick up people straight away. And that adds a little bit of the challenge in this mode. Oh, we finally got a unique station. Here we go. So you got like this quarter circle here. And that kind of thing will appear just randomly. Sometimes it appears in its new spot. Sometimes it takes over an old station. So say you had a station as one of your connecting stations here. Like you had it going around like this. And this was your connecting one. Or you had, this is your only circle station, say, on a line. This would be quite a problem for it changing, because you'd have to change your line setup so that it also contained a new way to get those passengers to a circle. You have to make it more accessible to your other lines so that they can all access this one station. And it really adds an extra layer of depth to the game, which I quite like. So we're going to jump out of this right now, just because I've shown most of that off. I'm going to go back to the menu to show you what else is in the game. So, as I was saying, we have this mode menu here that lets you look at Endless and Extreme. Extreme is quite difficult to get right. You have to really know what you want in the future before you can move on. And Endless is quite calming, but I found it quite boring actually, because there wasn't any kind of failure state. So you just kind of ended up not doing very much. Right, let's have a look at the menus. There is a daily challenge which gives you a random kind of mode and a random city and kind of sets you up in the leaderboards. There are leaderboards for every single map. We could go and have a look at that. They might have wiped them. They said they were going to wipe them. I guess they haven't wiped them yet. But yeah, and they show you how everyone's doing. Maybe they did wipe them, unless that is the top score, but that seems quite unlikely. Okay. And we have the options menu, which I'm going to show off last here. full resolution options. I don't think I'm not gonna change them. I can't remember whether it changes the resolution of the game while it's running. It has full screen or non-full screen, which fine. It's missing a few. I would like it to have borderless borderless full screen, which is quite nice, but it doesn't. It has night mode, makes it look kind of cool. Better than the blinding white for if you're in a darker room. It also has colorblind mode, which is a nice feature for it to have. I would like it to have the ability to turn down the effect noises, because you can probably hear they're quite loud, some of the bloops. But the music itself is very nice. Took them a while to put it in, but once they put it in, it was kind of worth the wait. And yes, I would like to say that the game is £6.99 on Steam right now, or $10, and I think that that's an alright price, but I would definitely recommend if you're on the fence about getting this, that you wait for a sale or something, because the game doesn't actually contain that much to do. Like, once you've... I found myself at a certain point just getting bored with it. It kept my interest for quite a while, and then it was just kind of the same thing. There isn't a lot of variety later on in the game. It's very much if you want to get the right strategy. I could see it if it was a mobile game, which I believe they are working on iOS version, or they were working on one. Presumably they'll be working more on it now that they've got the Steam version out. But if it was an iOS game, I could see this being the kind of game that you would play for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then you'll put it down, then you could perhaps resume your game later. I could see that kind of working, but as a game that you're just going to sit down and play, it's not really going to captivate your interest as much as other games would. It's very much a game where you're sitting back, you're relaxing, you're letting the game play out in the background, you're making your changes to it as it goes along, rather than a game that you're actively seeking action. That's not really the best way I could describe it, but hopefully you get what I mean. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.